Hey y'all, ego sumo colosista peregrinus, vos iuxtim nuntius veritatis domina per noctem. What's up? Okay, so today we're just gonna do a little tarot card reading, and we're gonna go into some qualities that you might want to incorporate into yourself. This might be from past lives things or shit like that. I'm not sure. It's gonna be different for everyone, but the general gist of this reading is gonna be about past lives and qualities that you would want to ideally incorporate into yourself now, in your persona, in your psyche, that will help you have a more fulfilling experience in the physical realm journey at the frequency you're on now, in the physical vessel that you reside partially in now. Okay, so we have some fun little home skillets, and we have this guy here. We're gonna have him as group number 1. We have this guy here, which is gonna be group number 2, and we have this guy here, which is going to be group number 3. So if you need a moment to choose, and I am going to kind of be speaking through these guys as well if they want me to, because why would I not speak to inanimate objects? It's okay. They're real because of my attention on the realness of them. Let's start with group number 1 here, Mr. Home Skillet. So let's find out about your past lives, or maybe some qualities that you would want to embrace into yourself in this lifetime now that will help you along your journey, plus any other messages that come through. No, that's too many. We don't want too many motherfuckers in the chat. Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Buddha. So we have Lover. And, you know, we see there's a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So, light attribute, great passion and devotion, and, you know, you're appreciative of someone or something in an unbridled manner. And then shadow attributes, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Okay, so you guys have this, and the reason why I read both is because I'm not going to read any of these cards upside down or right side up. I'm just going to, you know, because if you got Lover, then that's what's going on. So you ideally might want to embrace both the shadow attributes of the Lover into you and the light attributes of the Lover into you, so that you rectify the entire Lover, and then you are a true neutral. You get your motherfucking Anubis on. So I'm getting Aquarian energy, number 1, for a lot of you guys. I'm sensing that you might be a little cold or standoffish. You might not be open to receiving love from individuals. You might not be open to like a serious connection with someone else in terms of like a romantical affair, because I mean literally we got Lover. So this might be more of like incorporating things into you, which in your case would feel alien, like you feel a little bit disconnected from your emotions, I'm seeing. And this might have to do with past life stuff, or it could just be traits that you want to incorporate into your psyche now. You would know that, but if it is past life stuff, I'm just gonna say that if it only is past life stuff, that you were probably someone who in a past life you were betrayed very badly by someone in a former life, I'm sensing, and that's why in this lifetime you're cold. That's I'm picking up. So betrayal, it doesn't have to be from a partner, you know, it could have been from anyone, but you might have felt a big sense of betrayal in that past life, and now in this lifetime it's leading you to be more cold and closed off. Yeah, 4 of Swords. Okay, more air energy. So there might be a heavy influence, air, sun, moon, rising, and it's sort of like you have had like internal conflict with yourself. You rather be just alone, maybe alone with your money, maybe alone at your job doing some things, but you can't keep doing this, or you're at the point now where it's about time to see all of the viable options around you in terms of opening up yourself up to others on an emotional level. Because remember, we're keeping it with the Lovers, so I'm not really gonna go into too many other areas, because I feel like this is more about your relationships with emotions in regards to others. You're closed off, and you rather do things by yourself, but in that way you push a lot of motherfuckers away that genuinely wanted to care about you or help you or be there for you. You push these motherfuckers away because in that past life someone who was close to you betrayed you. And let's see how you incorporate this. Okay, how do you incorporate this love energy? Okay, you are almost there. I feel like you might have been contemplating this as well too. Okay. Oh, Queen of Cups. Oh my Goodness gracious. Thank you, universe. I love it when the cards do that. Okay. Oh, Jesus. So there is going to be a marriage or like a partnership coming to you very, very soon, because I feel like you might have been tired of being by yourself. And like I said, it's from this past life thing, if that is something that's resonating with you, because you were betrayed so much in a past life, you kind of shut off. And it, you know, if you know what this past life was, then obviously you could go in and incorporate it. But I'm sensing that you might have been seeking a resolution to this issue for quite some time, and we do have a coupling, a major event coming up where you might meet someone at a party who is going to fulfill everything that you didn't even know you wanted. For others, you might have been doing this inner work on yourself, and you kind of came to like a halt or a standstill because you really didn't know how else to proceed in the sector of your struggle with being alone, because I do feel like you struggle with being alone, even though you might be around friends all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like Aquarian energy is just coming up strongly for this. It could be any type of, you know, obviously any sign, but what I'm sensing, this Aquarian energy. So I would say look at your inner placements from Mars on in. Also could be Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius midheaven or even Aquarius north node. But how you do this, okay, be open to new possibilities. Don't be so standoffish and closed off when someone wants to get to know you. If you are, and this is, I'm going back to the party thing, if you are invited to a party or an event or a celebration, just go. That's one message coming through. At the very minimum, you're going to have a really good time and just have good social connections. But some of you, if you're resonating with where you're at the point where you want to have like a more stable partnership or something along those lines, you can potentially meet an individual there at this event, this gathering, and there can be a marriage or a coupling or a union or some time. It might be, some of you might be literally invited to someone's wedding and you might meet someone there, but I'm sensing there's something with marriage, because remember, these cards I pulled, I asked what can you do to incorporate this energy into you, right? So there is a pairing coming, but what I'm seeing is that you have your guard up still. Even if it's just a little bit, you still have your guard up. So just let go, just celebrate. Some of you might be invited to a party, or you might throw a party, or it might be someone's birthday coming up. Okay, so that's just, I'm just getting everything that I'm seeing. But how you incorporate it is just you go where you are invited, and just go with the intent just to like, I'm gonna have a good time because whatever, it's a celebration, because you are going to be going to a celebration, okay? And go into it with the intent of having a good time, because that's gonna at very minimum open you up to meeting new individuals. That's what I'm seeing here. And once you do that, once you open the floodgates, and it's like everything is gonna come out, right? But I feel like you guys are almost there. I'm sensing that you guys have just been on this journey, and you're kind of over it. You're kind of over like the being by yourself. But maybe for some of you with this past life here, you didn't even realize that it might not even have been shit going on in this life. Maybe in this lifetime no one ever betrayed you, but you carried that suspicion with you because in a past life that shit happened, and you might not have had a clue that shit was going on. Okay, so justice, yeah, some of you definitely might be either attending a wedding or getting married yourselves. Oh, that fucking fell. Thanks a bunch. That fucking fell. Was someone from your past, or someone from your past, like an old friend from wherever, might invite you to their wedding or celebration, and you're going to meet someone, or you might be getting married to someone from your past, someone who is really obsessed with you, or you are really obsessed with them. But there's definitely something coming. Okay, so there's a few different scenarios. I'm going to see like the future outcome of once you rectify this lover into yourself. You get an invite to go to a social event, just get your ass off the couch and go. Okay. So that's number one, whoever you are, whatever situation. Now, for the situation of the individuals, because I'm sensing this group, like I said, it's that general collective of tired of being alone, blah, 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 blah. You incorporate your past life into your psyche. You open yourself up. You get out of your comfort zone. Now, some of you might be literally attending a wedding of someone else where you meet someone. That is scenario A. Scenario B is you might go to this event of, let's say someone invited you to a wedding, and you meet someone that you've known from the past, or you might even meet someone from a former past life, or it could be both. But either which way, there is, like, if you are looking for someone, it's someone from the past or someone you knew in a past life. And if you meet them and they're brand spanking new in this vessel now and in your vessel now, you will know when you see them that you knew them in a past life. You just gonna know, okay? And there's an unbreakable bond there between you and this person. Yeah, passionate, steamy. I do want to, I'm the fucking messenger, so I'm gonna just say it here. The first time you see them, you might end up, hitting that. You know what I'm saying? You might end up tapping that booty the first time you see them. But I'm sensing that's also gonna lead to something else. And the reason that you're gonna move so quickly with this individual, and I don't mean just like first night, and that, like, I mean like everything is gonna move fast. Like, you might hit it the first night and then a week later you're engaged and a month later you're married. Like, I mean, this whole shit is gonna move fast, but it's gonna start when you accept that invitation to wherever it is. If you want this relationship, accept this invitation. If you don't want a relationship, or that's not where you're at in your journey, then just either way, step out of your comfort zone, because I'm sensing now for this group C, I guess group C of scenario C of group 1, you are going to go to that event. I hope you do, because I'm saying it so many fucking times. You're going to go to that event and you're going to celebrate with different individuals. You might meet someone either from the past in this vessel now or from a past life. And like I said, if you meet someone new from a past life, you're going to know it's them. So there can be no doubt or hesitation. You're going to know. They're going to open you up to new possibilities, and you're going to see that it was good that you put your defenses down, you let your guard down, and you let new individuals in. And that is how the stream starts flowing. So that is how you will incorporate the lover. That is what I have for you guys, group number 1. I am Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit-chat again soon. All right, group number 2, those of you that chose home skillet right here. Let's find out what's been going on in your past life, or an aspect that needs to be incorporated now to benefit you in this lifetime now. Let's see. What cards? Okay. And we have healer. So with the healer, now we have the light attributes, we have the shadow attributes, and I'm just gonna say, with the light attributes, you're someone who is very passionate about helping others and serving those in need and benefiting everyone for their highest good, right? Like, this is kind of where you're naturally inclined. But also with the shadow aspects of the healer, it's about you being overly selfless and sometimes potentially a martyr for others, in terms of you're putting your own sense of self on the back burner because you're more concerned about the other in the situation. Okay, so this is going to be for your past life, or an attribute that you might want to incorporate into this lifetime now. So let's see what was going on with this. Let's get more information on the healer, and if there's like a storyline for you. We have the moon. Okay, yeah, so some of you might be Cancers or Pisces, strong in your big 3 of astrology. Death, or now you have Scorpio into the fucking chat. So thank you, universe. I love it when the cards do that. So we have all the water signs here. Could be, doesn't have to be, but water is coming in heavy. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so a lot of you have had some sort of wounded feminine energy. Now, this doesn't matter what your gender identity is. This is just feminine energy in terms of you kind of being overly selfless and overly concerned with the emotions of others, that you put your needs, as I said, on the back burner. And what needs to happen now, how you incorporate this healer, is you take charge of your surroundings with this Knight of Wands. You take charge of your surroundings and you transform yourself into someone who is more of like a go-getter, rather than someone who, I feel like with this particular group, you might be like so inclined with being there for everyone else that you kind of let things with yourself fall apart because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And it's like sometimes the motherfucker needs to be put in their place. So I'm sensing that you are going through this time of transformation now, and I'm sensing that some of you might have resonate with High Priest or High Priestess vibes. And a shadow aspect even of a High Priestess or a High Priest is that they might not listen to their intuition on occasion and help the wrong individuals. So if there's anyone in your experience that they keep coming to you for help and advice or money or whatever, food, I don't know, they're coming to you to like pay for their gas and you've just done it, like things that are not your responsibility. I'm not talking about if they're your child or something, but even if they're your child, at a certain point, whoever it is, or it could even be a parent asking you for money, or you know what I mean? Any dynamic is possible here. But what's happening now is that I'm sensing you guys already recognize that there's an individual who might be taking advantage of you. And if that's not your message, that's not your message. But some of you, there might be someone in your life who's taking advantage of you in whatever terms, and you just don't want to rock the boat because you feel bad, you don't want to be mean, but it's time for that to change. And the reason why anyone would ever take advantage of anyone is because someone is overly giving to a point where they're martyring themselves. And with the healer energy, I'm sensing this is again like with the feminine energy, you're so into how everyone else is feeling around you that sometimes you don't even look to see how you're feeling. You're just more concerned. You kind of bite your tongue a lot. But that's changing now. And there's a message coming through for you as well with the healer here. King of Cups. Yeah, look at this. I said water energy. We got the King of Cups. There's a lot of water energy on the board. So it's time to embrace the masculine side of your compassion for others. So the masculine side of compassion for others is not necessarily going to be overly selfless in their actions. They'll be more in a giving wisdom or being selfless with what they are conveying through their words with someone. They'll give that advice. And I don't know where that even came from. I'm talking about in this specific scenario. I'm not saying that masculine energy is not compassionate in other ways. I'm not saying that feminine energy doesn't know how to give good advice. I'm just saying for this right here, this is the message for this, what's going on in these cards right now. That's what I'm seeing. So how you embrace the healer, the wounded healer with you. Some of you guys might have Chiron in a water sign or a water house if you want to incorporate more stuff. But in your past life, okay, there's some sort of you felt like no one was compassionate with you. And I'm not saying that you felt like no one was there for you, right? Motherfuckers were there for you. Maybe they put a roof over your head, maybe they bathed you, clothed you, fed you, whatever the fuck, but you didn't feel they were there for you emotionally in that past life. So now in this life, you're overly compensating for that because some of you might not even know why unless you figured out that it was coming from your past life, and you are just so selfless to a point where it puts you in detriment sometimes. And if there is an individual that has been taking advantage of you, you already know who it is. It ain't gonna be a shock, and it most likely isn't a shock, but you need to just stop spoon feeding them and just tell them, listen, this is my viewpoint, boom, and then just tell them. But it's more giving direct advice rather than doing it for them. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's called Ray. It's about Ray Charles. Obvious, well, maybe not so obvious, I don't know, probably a lot of Rays out there, but whatever. So there's this scene in this movie where, you know, how he was blind, whatever. I don't really remember too much of the movie, but I remember the scene because it just popped in my mind to kind of give you an example. So Ray Charles, he was blind, okay, and his mom knew that he was blind, obviously, and so I forget exactly what happened, but he like tripped and fell, and he was like calling for his mom. He's like, because he wanted her to like, you know, help him up, and he's like a really little kid. I mean, he wasn't like a baby, you know what I mean? He was like old enough to be able to pick himself up off the ground if he wanted to, but because he was blind, you know, he was dependent on, I guess, his mom or whoever for like a lot of things. So in the scene, they show his mom, and she like sees him, and she's just like she's just watching him, okay? She's just watching him, and she's not doing nothing. And then so he eventually picks himself up by himself, and this is what I'm seeing here. So it's not like his mom saw him fall and left the room and was like, fuck this, you know what I'm saying? Like, she stood there and she's like, she kind of, I mean, I'm not speaking for a movie character, but I'm saying in her mind, she was probably like, okay, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna observe this, like, I got their back if they really need me, like if he really couldn't get up. Like, she didn't leave the room, she was watching, and he stood up, and she's like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sensing this is kind of like the energy that's going on for you right now. Like, in the best context that I can give you with that Ray Charles movie snippet example, that's the type of energy to embrace. Like, don't necessarily leave the room, but like step back, and this motherfucker who you sense, if there is that situation for some of you that you sense they've been taking advantage of you, you'll see that they're able to do it for themselves. And you're like, and that is how you rectify this healer, because you're like, I ain't abandoning you, but let me just, you know, you're kind of keeping an eye on it, but you're not doing anything. So I'm sensing that however this situation would apply to you, that's how you embrace the masculine, right? Because you're not like, oh, let me rush in to help and I don't care how I feel and I'm gonna always blah blah blah, right? Like, it's more masculine, like, wait, let's think this logically. This is an able-bodied individual. They're able to move their physical vessel to get up from the floor themselves. Let's just see what happens. That's more of the energy that I'm picking up for this scenario. Okay, so that's how you embrace the healer. So let's just see moving forward. Whew. Have 3 of Pentacles. The Sun, okay, yep, and the 4 of Cups, okay. So this is what you do, how to move forward, okay. I'm sensing that also with this group, like I said, if you are resonating with an individual who you might have felt was taking advantage of you, you need to let go of that resentment right now, because you don't want to carry that with you, and then you're only going to perpetuate the experience of someone taking advantage of you, right? So you need to let that go. You see how Home Skillet is like dumping the cup out right there? Boom, just all of the feelings, and water again, symbolic of the water energy. You just like, you let it go. Okay, you know what, cup is empty now, I could fill it with something fresh. Okay, but it's also working towards your own happiness. So whatever makes you happy as an individual, whatever floats your boat, you do that for yourself. So I'm seeing for some of you how you rectify the healer. If you do, especially maybe some of you identify as being healers now, but you also don't want to be a healer and then have to spoon feed motherfuckers. I'm gonna keep saying that. You want to know that a true healer, in my view, in my opinion, is someone that they help a motherfucker come to their own conclusions. Just like in the movie, Ray Charles's mom, like she helped him by not helping him in that moment, so he was able to know how to do that himself. You see what I'm saying? So if you do identify as a healer, and look at this, we got both the Sun and the Moon in this pile, so this actually might be a parent-child dynamics somewhere in here, okay, for some of you. But what I do want to say is that if you identify as a healer, you can't do the spiritual work for anyone, right? You can only kind of light the way, you guide the fucking path, but you're not saying, okay, this is what we're gonna do, blah 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 blah, right? Even if you're a Reiki practitioner and you're literally pulling energy out of a motherfucker, it's okay, that's why they're there, right? That's why they sought your counsel, but you're not gonna be inside their psyche like, okay, only this energy from now on is welcome. It's like, okay, you did your part, now the rest is up to them. So a true healer is sort of like their counsel is sought, but it's sought more so that the seeker can learn how to help themselves in that scenario. Like, you're just kind of pointing the way, right? So I'm sensing doing something for you, especially if you are on, like, you know, you resonate as a healer or whatever. Some of you might be, oh my god, what is that word? Some of you might be massage therapists, or some of you, maybe you need to just go get a fucking massage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You need to get some me time pampering in, either which way you're doing, because that's going to help soothe your soul. And I'm sensing the thing that you really need to do to help soothe your soul is to do something physical, like your physical vessel. Like, take up a hobby that has something to do with your physical vessel, because that's going to help you with that, because now you're taking me time, like spa day, pamper me, like, because I deserve it, you know, like something like that. Okay, so even if it's just for like 1 hour, and you tell your partner, you gonna watch the kids for 1 hour, or I'll take me my Epsom salt bath, or whatever the fuck. Okay, like whatever it is, whatever, you know, everyone's situation is different, but whatever it is, if you take that sick day off and you go to the spa and you have like a luxury spa day, do you boo. That's what I'm sensing. The more you embrace your own me time and your physical vessel, then the more you are going to clear that sort of martyr complex. And this is because now you understand what it's like to put yourself first, because if you don't put yourself first, you're not even going to be able to help anyone else. I mean, quite frankly, right? You have to maintain yourself so that you're at optimum performance, so that you can be there to help others, but not help them to a point where it's detriment to you. You help them by allowing them to see what it is they are doing, and you are just there as sort of like a guide, right? So And so I have for you guys group number 2. I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. We will chit chat again soon. What is up, group number 3? Those of you that chose home skillet right here. Let's see what's going on from your past life. So let's get this archetype card. Well, one wanted to, oh my goodness gracious. These are all good. Thank you, universe. So we have teacher. Okay, so we have the light attributes and we have the shadow attributes, but for me, we're incorporating everything, right? We just want teacher as a whole incorporated, so we want to look at his light attributes, his shadow attributes, and yada yada. Okay, so you're just someone who you're all about communicating from your experience or your own wisdom to help others and to guide them. And also the shadow attributes are more about you wielding your power, wielding your dominance over others for like a destructive means, sort of like you're programming someone with information in order for them to do your bidding, rather than you just teaching them from a neutral place, and whatever they decipher from what you teach them, then they'll take it as whatever. But it's more of like imbuing like a dogmatic type of energy on others. Okay, so you got the teacher. So in your former life, past life, the teacher wants to be incorporated now into your experience in this physical vessel and point of attention. So let's see if there's any storyline coming through with the teacher. 8 of Cups and 3 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm getting a storyline. This is a lot of bit specific, because now I looked at the bottom of the deck. We got the Magician. So in your former life, or even your lifetime now, what could be coming up, teacher and magician, right? So I'm thinking of someone who sort of has like an apprentice, or you might be an apprentice, or like something like mentor apprentice dynamic. And I'm sensing that there was in your past life, or could be playing out even now, there's something to do with like, I don't know, I keep getting apprentice. Okay guys, if this ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea, but I see a very specific little plot over her. Okay, so I mean, if I had tea in front of me, I would drink it, but all I got is water. But you know what, that's gonna be good enough, because this shit just got twizzy. Yeah, and you chose the magic mushroom, and we got the magician. Okay, so some of you guys are very powerful creators, either in the lifetime that's coming up for, you know, to incorporate into you now, or in this lifetime now, or could be in both, right? But you are someone, you have mastered so much in your experience, but there is some wielding, like an aha type of thing, where because you have so much knowledge in the situation, that the attributes, remember I said with the shadow attributes, it's like you're using it to manipulate others to do your bidding. You play motherfucker like they on puppet strings. That's what you do sometimes. Okay, it could have been in a past life, or it could have been even now. It might not be going on now, or just remember, whatever is the opposite is always the same. That was good. Damn. Someone write that shit down. Or it could be that someone did that to you in a past life, like they were manipulating you for their own benefit, or they could have been doing that in this lifetime, either at present or somewhere before this reading. I'm sensing that there might be some weird either in the past life or the lifetime now, there was some sort of apprentice mentor dynamic. One was way more powerful than the other one, so they were kind of using them. They were manipulating the motherfucker. Okay, this could be you, or this could be someone else. Pick a lifetime, okay? But this is what's coming up right now. So we're talking about some sort of dynamic. It could have been sexual too. Like, okay, I like I said, this pot, I mean, if it ain't your pot, it ain't your pot. But there could have been either you or someone else in this lifetime, or the lifetime that's coming up now for review to incorporate into you. Someone was overly powerful, and they had like little minions. Okay, they had little minions because they're so powerful. They're fucking magician. They had little minions, and they're like, you know, playing motherfucker on a puppet string, blah blah blah. And there was a point where I'm sensing, it could have been the past life, or it could have been this lifetime, where someone found out that they were not the only puppet that the magician was pulling on his strings. That's what I'm sensing fucking happened. So whoever this magician type, this teacher who knows so much, there was a lot of heavy dark attributes going on. It could have been in a past lifetime, and it could have even been you as the dark magician doing that. Okay, I'm not, like I said, everything opposite is the fucking same. That's what was going on. That's why it's coming up now. That's why in this lifetime now, you might have found yourself in that dynamic. Now, an apprentice mentor type of dynamic, it could be anything. It could be between lovers, siblings, even a parent-child. It could be a co-worker. It could be a boss and an employee. There's something here with that. It was oh my god, power imbalance. There's a power imbalance because one motherfucker is they know they're powerful, and they're just like and they're fucking puppet string, right? That's what they're doing. But they're doing that to a lot of motherfuckers. So if it was them who was doing that and you found out that they were doing that to everyone, then that should even be more healing, because you're like, well, it definitely wasn't me then, it was them, right? Because that's just how they were. Although I guess we could even argue about what part of you attracted that, but this ain't, we're just gonna stick with what I'm seeing in the cards, because this energy is fucking potent. So there's a powerful motherfucker here, or it could be you and this motherfucker are equally balanced. So another scenario could be, because I keep looking at this skeleton, I keep looking at the skeleton, make sure we still rolling. Oh Jesus. Okay, so for you guys, or it could have been you could have been someone that was so powerful and you're manipulating motherfuckers around either in this lifetime or a past life, and then now it's like you found yourself on the other end of the coin, you being manipulated. Or in your other lifetime you could have been manipulated, but now you're the one doing that. But there's something with an apprenticeship and there's something with an apprentice and a mentor dynamic here. Pick a scenario. I almost guarantee you're gonna have at least one scenario like this in this current lifetime, okay? And if it was you doing that, if you were playing motherfuckers by puppet strings, I'm sensing that someone else came along and maybe they were not easy to manipulate. Or it could have been, vice versa. It could have been if you met someone, and this is, I'm talking if the power dynamic, if both of you are the magician, okay? Because the magician, in different ways, everyone's magic is different, right? But typically, an observer of what is not going to be able to manipulate easily another observer of what is, right? So because if the energy is neutral, the energy is the same, whatever the fuck. Okay, so it could have been something like that. So maybe there was let's say if this is because I'm sensing for some weird reason it might have finance having to do with it, okay, in some way. I don't know, take what resonates with you. Maybe in this lifetime you dealt with there was let's say there's a company, whatever, pick a company, and you're working at the company and you're an employee, and you identify as a master magician, right? But then someone else comes in and they're I don't know, what they call that, the general manager, I don't know what the fuck they're called, right? And they're the general manager of a whole bunch of areas, sectors of the country, and then they come in, they're a master magician, they're used to getting their way because they're manipulating motherfuckers, and you're a master magician, you're used to getting way because you manipulate motherfuckers. And then they came in, and even though they're the GM or the CEO or whatever, they weren't able to manipulate you, but they tried, and you saw them manipulating everyone around you, but then you confronted them, or you did something, or you wielded your fucking cock, you know what I'm saying, energetic cock for some, I don't know, however that resonates, but you came in, you're yo, I don't know about that, okay, something. Or it could have been, vice versa. It could have been, maybe if you were doing that, if you were the GM and then someone stood up to you or whatever, it could go both ways. So I'm just putting that as one example. It's just an example of the energy that I'm sensing here. If there are two magicians in the dynamic, if not, if one was an apprentice and one was a mentor, then, pick what resonates. But that's what I'm seeing here. That was fucking deep. I don't know where the fuck we going with this, but that's the storyline. So let's see how you can get out of it. Oh yeah, literally moving on up. 6 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Yeah, you over this shit. And the Star. So you know what, let me get, because we have 4 here, let me get another one. Yeah, the Chariot. There's definitely movement. You're coming out of this, okay? So here's the thing, when someone is in this dynamic where it's they're a teacher, and you did get the teacher card, so if you're someone that you're very skilled and you do know that you have magical powers or whatever the case, I'm sensing that at how to incorporate this teacher is to move forward from any power struggle dynamic, move away from any power struggle dynamic that attempted to present itself in your experience. That's what you do. You're over this shit. You want to just bask in the sun like a fucking lizard, and you just want to relax, and you want to hear like water sounds, and you want like the morning dew to be on your skin, and you just like, yo, I'm over it, right? Like, so any power struggle dynamic, again, like maybe in a business setting, but some sort of apprentice and master type of dynamic, leave that behind. You can still be a great teacher, but it doesn't mean that you have to take on minions, okay? If you're a great teacher, you want to be around other great teachers, those who are equal to you, and those where there's no twizzy-twiz dynamic. It's more of like, okay, we're all good in different arts, and we don't need to compete with each other. We don't need to puppet string each other, because I recognize the master in you the way you recognize the master in me. Like, that's the kind of energy I'm sensing. So any type of relationship, even if it's like a familial dynamic, power struggle, exit the chat immediate, okay? That's how I'm sensing. You quickly move away. There is a lot of movement coming here. Some of you might physically, if you have been thinking about physically moving locations, or moving out of like a living situation where a power struggle was going on, or moving from like one job to another, or moving to another branch of the company to another, just so you can get away, like that's the best thing. Movement, just move out of the way. It's just, that's it, that move away from it as best as you can. So the future of this, we have, yeah, this definitely even could be like a work or monetary situation. The Sun, Temperance, yeah, and Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, universe. We got a lot of fucking fire energy here too. Okay, so this could be a work dynamic, but with the Sun and Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune, I'm sensing that for you guys, it's just about now is the perfect time to make your move. I feel like for some of you, if it's about like monetary situation, you really already have the finances to get out of the situation. I don't know, that's just what I'm picking up for some of you. You know, this is a general reading, but for those of you who are even concerned about that, well, how do you just leave a job? It's already taken care of, okay? You've already put in enough effort with the physical side of things in regards to this power struggle dynamic situation that when you break free of it, it's just gonna move fast to your delight. But also, it's the perfect time, and there might be a chance that out of nowhere is presented to you to leave this situation, this power struggle dynamic. Take that chance. So let's say you want to leave your job because you know it's that power struggle dynamic. Remember I told you, general manager coming through, you know, whatever, Cox wielded and shit, whatever the fuck, okay? Now, you might be on LinkedIn, let's just say as an example, but take what applies to you. You might be on LinkedIn and you're just like, you know, you already know about all this power struggle dynamic. You want to deal with it no more because you are a master teacher and you want to be around other master teachers that also respect that you are a master teacher too. So Brando on LinkedIn messages you and says, hey, would you be interested in blah 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 job? Take that chance. Take that chance. Something is going to come in randomly. You're going to be in the moment and it's the perfect time to move forward from this situation. There's going to be some random occurrence that fucking happens and it's going to allow you to move forward out of this situation with this power struggle dynamic. But I would say take the chance. Don't hesitate. Allow yourself to even maybe some of you, if this is in a business standpoint, some of you, I just looked at some just to get some messages. I don't really need to show you the cards because it's just those are messages I got, but either which way, some of you, this is what I got, if this is a business standpoint, some of you, and this is very specific, some of you might want to take on a partner. So let's say again that general manager shit, whatever, you didn't like it, power struggle, okay, you and your friend who's your co-worker in that company, you might, the two of you decide to branch out and create your own business away from the toxic work environment and that shit that I just said, right? Take that chance. Business partnership coming up strong here. Strong for those of you who have thought about opening your own business. But take that chance. So whatever occurs, whatever random thing comes up, it might seem very crazy, but we have Wheel of Fortune and Temperance and the Sun sun with the 8 of Pentacles. This shit gonna bring you some fucking money, honey boo boo. Okay, it gonna bring you some money. You ain't gotta worry about that shit. And that is how you incorporate the teacher, because now, especially if it is with the business partnership, now you have 2 equal magicians, but they ain't stepping on each other's toes, because magician number 1 might be better at sales and magician number 2 might be better at web design, right? I'm just saying, right? But you take that chance and you respect that each other have different things to teach the other one, instead of a twisted power dynamic where motherfuckers are manipulating for their own pleasure and yada yada. But we have temperance, we have the wheel of fortune. So this is quote unquote lucky energy, even though, I mean, you know, create your own luck if you believe in it, but take that chance. This is going to be random, sporadic. Just go with it. Just go with it. Just trust. Your whole fucking life experience might change for the better. So that's what I got for you guys, group number 3. I am Oculus, the alien next door. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful stroll. We will chit chat again soon.